Before you buy Mouse PI for hire, know this. It's not just a Cuphead looking FPS, it actually plays like a legit boomer shooter with style to match. Mouse PI for hire is a 1930s Nord rubber hose animated FPS where you're a trench coat PI mowing down gangs and cultists in a black and white war zone. You play as my boy Jack Pepper, a hard-boiled PI pulled into Mouseburg's city underbelly with crooked cops, cultists, killer robots, and its jazz-soaked streets. The combat is kind of where it goes crazy. It's fast. It has old school FPS movement with sprint, slide, double jump, kicks, and constant strafing, so it feels more like Doom. You're swapping between wild guns like Tommy guns, junky shotguns, dynamite, and more. Plus, with all those weapons, you can upgrade those at workbenches and even grab power-ups that add elemental effects. But before you buy this, know a few things. This is a focused linear shooter, so don't expect big open world, open levels, or immersive sim freedom. Some preview says the funneling and scripting can feel repetitive, but it makes sense for 30 bucks. Mouse PI for hire is a premium single player FPS and it's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch, all at 30 bucks. And even if you want to spend a little extra, you can get the physical edition, and I'm telling you, it's fire. But if you want a stylish boomer shooter with Cuphead meets Doom energy and you're okay with linear levels, this should be on your radar. Otherwise, wait for me to play it or wait for the reviews and the performance test on your own platform. Let's talk about some of the gameplay, the feel, and the friction. Because honestly, minute to minute, Mouse is all about staying on the move and turning groups of cultists and crooks into ink splatters. The core loop looks like this. You enter a loop, you enter a level, pick up your weapons, dash and double jump around enemies arenas while a whole bunch of wave of enemies come to you. And you use the arsenal to clear them, you solve some light puzzles, or you loot picks, grab clues, and move on to the next chunk of the case. Now the gunplay is very old school. Your weapon sits at the bottom of the screen like a classic boomer shooter. And the enemies aren't like high level tactical geniuses or high level AIs. They just run at you or spray from a distance. So the real challenge is dodging projectiles, managing space, and swapping weapons. But you also got basics like a pistol and a shotgun that hit kind of hard and feels like a go-to workouts and previews. But you get more flavorful options like a Tommy gun, and you got a gun which coats enemies into, like, I think turpentine and literally dissolves them down to skeletons, which I think is really cool. But from what people have played, the movement is literally what sells it. Dashing, jumping, even some wall running and platform related areas, plus the environmental tricks like blowing up a barrel to open paths, is pretty fucking dope. Now, the boss fights, it seems like big robot style enemies that actually force you to use all the movement and the tricks that you learned along the way, instead of just, force tanking it with, a strong gun that you got like the shotgun or the Tommy gun. And I believe it's not trying to reinvent FPS combat. It leans into something familiar and readable, then lets the style and weapon do the talking. Now, to me, that can be good or bad depending on what you want. If you love classic shooters where you're constantly moving around and shooting and not worrying about loadouts for 10 minutes at a time, this looks like the one. Looks like it's very comfortable. But there is some friction to keep in mind. The enemy is stupid. They're simple, they're simple-minded. They're not masterminds, they are target dummies, and at least that's what people showed in the demo they had played. The health pickup seemed very generous early on, so we don't know yet how tough the later game actually gets. And even when you start looking at the weapon wheel, the 2-gun hot swap system is cool, but if you're used to having every gun bound to its own key, this might feel a little bit slower on the controller. But for the casual players, the basics, shoot, dash, pick up hearts, follow level, that's it. But for the FPS veterans, the question is whether the level encounter variety is going to be enough. Like, to be able to stay interesting over 20 plus Nord themed stages, I think will be tough. Now let's move on to some of the story and the vibes of Mouse PI, because this is how it really sells itself. The story setup is classic Detective Noir. Jack Pepper takes on what should be a simple missing magician case. It starts tugging on threads and ends up dealing with cults, corruption, and full-blown citywide conspiracies. You've got a crime wall back at your office when you literally pin up photos and connect clues with strings as you finish missing missions. Like, the full cliche, but in the best way possible. Mouseburg itself is more than just a backdrop. It's an open map hub where you can drive between locations, hop out and interact with locals like bartenders, reporters, and shopkeepers. You really on the ground looking for clues. And there's a workshop where you upgrade weapons at the Bang workbench, teasing all fire modes like steady explosive globs for the weapon that literally forgot how to say the word, but the weapon literally burns people to skeletons, or you can even charge shotgun blasts. Like, it's literally crazy to me how they're doing this. Visually, like, this is pure 1930s cartoon, black and white, hand-drawn frames, rubber hose limbs, and exaggerated animation. Some of the characters are flat 2D sprites in a 3D world, which makes it like an old 3D shooter, but with animated paper cutouts walking around. It's literally eye-catching, and the tone itself is so interesting because it's silly, it's slapstick, it heads pop, the ink blood sprays, enemies dissolve, but it's not for kids. You're dealing with guns, cults, and straight up murder cases, so it leans into a weird mix of cartoon comedy and surprisingly like dark humor. Music wise, all about the big band jazz, and I love it. Brassy, energetic tracks that fit the chase scene and firefights, helping keep that Cuphead, but it's an FPS energy going. If that old school jazz is crackling and the radio play voice delivery is your thing, the atmosphere looks strong, people describe it as dripping with style and personality, and I'm excited for it. So this leads us to the real question. So should you buy Mouse PI for hire? If you love fast old school FPS games and you're into vintage cartoons, you love some jazz, and you want to be a detective, this looked like an easy day one or early sale pickup. To be honest with you, it feels like it's already on sale because it's $30. You're getting a stylish, hand-drawn boomer shooter with clear identity, solid gun feel, and a fun crime-solving wrapper around the action. If you're on the fence about the black and white art, or you really need like a strong AI to feel something and super deep detective mechanics to stay engaged, I say wait for the reviews, maybe a discount, who knows. But the core of it looks good. Some of those systems might end up more flavored than deep gameplay. But hey, some of the fans who actually would love this game are the Doom style shooters and fast movement people who love Cuphead's art style and want the same vibes in FPS. Anyone who hears jazz fueled cartoon north and shooter and thinks, yeah, that's my weird niche, this should be you. But the people that should skip this, if you don't like black and white, don't even try. If you don't like the exaggerated cartoon violence, you might as well not even think about this game. If you want something that's super realistic, tactical, with modern military vibes, go play Call of Duty. Go be a ball and gun gamer, because this ain't for you. And anybody who gets bored quickly if the enemies aren't incredibly smart or test your wits, sorry y'all, this ain't for you either. But personally, this sits in that sweet spot for me. It's not a full price AAA gamble, and it looks unique enough that I want to at least give it a shot. No pun intended. So if you are looking to see for this game, I am going to be live on twitch.tv/KDotDaGawd, where I will be playing this game live, and you can come check me out. If this before you buy helped you decide whether you want to jump into Mouse PI or not, hit like so more detectives can find it in their feed, and let me know in the comments, are you buying? Are you waiting? Are you skipping? Do you just want to watch me play it and go crazy? Let me know. Let me know. And you can also let me know in the comment section below what other games you want me to cover. What other games do you want me to do before you buy on next? Because if you already play any demos or previews or any games, I definitely would love to know your thoughts below in the comment section below. But I say play what you love, not just what's trending, and I'll see y'all in the next video.